560. How y'all doing? So, this is going to be the assignment for this week. The plan, the game plan. We have. It's really a blessing. It's a good thing to have so many awesome, unique students with awesome, unique backgrounds. We have some students who have no kinesiology background, but they have backgrounds in biology and chemistry and industrial engineering. And that's going to serve them real well in some of the things that we do. And we have others who have kinesiology backgrounds, but dramatic pause. They've been out of the game for a while. Maybe they've been out of school for a while, and so some of the foundational things, might be a little hazy. If you think about it, for pro teams, when they come back from the off season after the season's over, they don't just get right back into the game. You have, training camp. You have practice where you kind of reintroduce things and gradually, bring back, those skills. So we're going to do the same thing this week. We're going to start to get into the nuts and bolts, but we kind of have to have like a little training camp. With the intent is for the students who maybe don't have the specific KNES background to play a little catch up, and for those of you that do have KNES backgrounds, for you to play a little catch up, if you know what I'm saying. And by the way, I don't like catch up. No. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to post a couple of undergraduate lectures just on planes and axes concepts. And that is to just kind of get the balls rolling. And, we live in a three-dimensional world, but 3 dimensions in human movement can mean 2 different things. It can mean straight line world, up, down, left, right, front, back. So you think about, you go to a movie in 3D and you can see the movie on the screen, and the screen goes up, down, left, right. And then you put on the special glasses and the 3rd dimension comes out at you, right? Well, it's important to understand the other type of 3 dimensions, and that's 3 dimensions of spin, 3 dimensions of rotation, and that's the one that doesn't get looked at a lot, and that's the one very important to us because we move by spinning. We rotate things in order to translate things. So the videos that I show you are going to be a good refresher or a good introduction to these 3 dimensions of straight line world, X, Y, Z, and rotational world, sagittal, frontal, transverse, okay? And the tie that binds straight line world and rotational world is axes. Axes are the straight lines about which things spin about. So it's going to be cool. Here's an x-axis, or some of you in kinesiology heard bilateral axis, and then we have this little ring that can spin about the axis. Campbell, I can't see that. Okay, let me try a better thing. Let's go here. Here's an x-axis. No, don't kill me. Sorry, we got to use you for science. So objects rotate about straight lines, about fixed points, and those straight lines could be literal, like an axis of a car, an axis, axle, or it could be metaphorical. It could be a point. Let me use my wrist. It could be a point about which rotation occurs. So, okay. So, after you watch those videos on reintroducing you to think of human movement as performers on a stage, right? A ballet and actors and actresses, and they're all moving and they're all performing and they're all doing what they're doing, but the only reason they're able to do what they do is because there is a stage set up that allows them to play in that world. And so that's what we need to kind of talk about, is we need to talk about the stage. We need to talk about the dimensions of motion and spin, and how a lot of times these things are combined, where you have translation and rotation happening, and understanding that concept helps us to see illusions in motion. What I'm working towards is helping you guys to identify illusions in motion. A lot of people can see motion when it looks like it's moving, and it is, but there's a lot of times where things look like they're moving and they're not, or things look like they're not moving and they are. I'll give you examples of all of what I'm trying to say here is That looks like I turned my neck to my right. But you know what else looks like I turned my neck to my right, but I didn't, is if I do this, right? So it looked like it twisted, but I didn't. I might have twisted at the trunk, but just because my eyes looked to the right doesn't mean it was because of my neck, okay? Or another one is it looks like it's not moving, it looks like it's staying still, but it is moving. And that, an example would be like this. If my head didn't move, like if I was in a halo, this would happen. So I actually had to twist my neck to the right in order to keep my eyes looking at you beautiful people out there, okay? Illusions. So we need to build towards that. So we got to start from the beginning. We got to have training camp. In addition, your assignment, in addition to watching those videos, your assignment is going to be information on joints. And I'm not talking like Cheech and Chong, I'm talking about the ones in the body, articulation of bones. So I'm going to give you a lab assignment where you're going to cite these are the different classifications of bones. Bones come together to form joints. These are the different classifications of joints. And then I'm going to ask you to go into specifics. The ankle joint. What makes up the ankle joint? What is the ankle joint? Who articulates with the ankle joint? How does it move? What are the movement possibilities? What makes it unique? What makes our ankle joints unique as humans? Not that we are better than other creatures, but we're different. So what makes us different? What makes having our ankle joint structure unique to us? We'll do the knee, we'll do the hip, just major joints. We're not going to get into, tell me about the temporomandibular joint. These are going to be things that are very practical and useful. Wrist, elbow, radial, all of that kind of stuff, all right? So, two parts. The introductory videos on on dimensions, movement, and then the lab that's going to be to communicate structure and movement possibilities of the major appendicular joints of the body. Okay. Then once we kind of have that, then we can get into playing. Once we kind of have the foundation of the ABCs, then we could start putting those letters together to form words, to form sentences, to form paragraphs, to form poetry. Cool? All right, guys. We'll see you later.